welcome. So glad that you are here. How to achieve long-lasting and permanent weight loss. So the first thing is, people always ask me, why are we talking about weight loss? Well, it was not something I set out to do. I have a website where I talk about health and getting healthier. So yes, weight loss is part of getting healthier, but it's not a focus of my programs. But it was something that was often requested, and a lot of people kept asking me how to lose weight. And as you can see from the infographics, many Americans are overweight. 88% of all Americans are metabolically unhealthy. So this is something that is really it's an epidemic, and we need to address it. On a personal note, I've always been overweight or obese. This is probably at my highest weight, and I was probably over 200 pounds. And just like you, I looked to diets to lose weight. I tried all kinds of programs. I tried everything. I thought I tried everything. It was very frustrating. I would lose the weight and gain it back, and even more. And I was just tired, very tired all the time. But let me tell you a little bit first about who I am. Well, I'm a mother and a grandmother. I am also the founder and CEO of RX Health and Wellness. And that's a website that is geared for women over 40 with chronic disease who are trying to get healthier. And we're here to support you. I'm also a doctor of pharmacy. I'm also a diabetes certified specialist, and I specialize mostly on metabolic syndrome. So, continuing with my story, I was probably at my highest weight. I was turning 40, and I did not feel good. I was very afraid that I was going to be just like my mother and just like many other people in my family, overweight and have diabetes. So I went to see my doctor. At this time, I was working as a manager in a hospital. I had a lot of stress in my life. I was managing about 45 people in a huge pharmacy. I was also trying to leave that pharmacy job and get into a more clinical type of job. I go see my doctor, and she tells me, you have high blood pressure. You need to start taking medication for blood pressure. And you have high cholesterol, and you also need to start taking medication for that. I went from 0 medications to 2 medications. Oh, and on top of that, you are pre-diabetic. You need to lose some weight. Now, she gave me a lot of information about the medications I was taking, which I already knew. And she gave me the usual talk about, eat better and exercise more. And there I was. I had no idea what to do, even though I was a health professional. Now, I knew I had education around all these diseases and around medications. So I decided to become a clinical pharmacist and become a certified diabetes educator, and try to help myself and help my mother and others in my family. And I was able to lose some weight. I lost about 20 pounds. And, I did the usual. I cut out soda. We try not to eat outside as much. And I was very happy because I lost 20 pounds and everything got better, including my high blood pressure and my cholesterol. But what happened was, slowly throughout the years, and as I went more into perimenopause and menopause, I regained all the way back and more. And I was so frustrating. And then I found myself to be a full-fledged diabetes person, a person with diabetes. It was devastating. I started to take the medications, and I knew all about the side effects, and I knew all about how they worked. And I tried my best to eat the right foods, and I tried to follow everything that I would tell my patients to do, and yet I got worse and worse to the point I was put on insulin. In trying to not only find a way to help myself and help my mother and help others with diabetes, I found functional medicine. Unfortunately, my mother passed away, but using those principles, I was able to change my lifestyle and get off insulin, get off all my medications, and get off just about everything that I was taking. And I was focused on start getting healthier. In the process, I lost some weight. And I'm here to help you learn the things that help me not only to get healthy, but to lose that weight. Hopefully, that's what we'll be doing. Unfortunately, for most people, just like what happened to me, that when they try to lose the weight, they at some point give up because the process is so hard. You may lose some weight, but then you gain it back or gain even more. The process is honestly very restrictive. You know, they tell you calories in, calories out, which is not true, by the way. And you try everything and you get very frustrated. You just go back to your old habits and you gain all that weight back and even more. What do? We can't really look toward the weight industry. The weight industry is not really set out to help us lose the weight. They're there to help us lose some weight, but not a sustainable weight loss. This is what most people will be told, that if you gain weight, so obesity, if you gain weight and you will get insulin resistance and then get all these other diseases. Well, in functional medicine, we learned that it is insulin resistance that causes the weight gain along with all these other diseases, right? Type 2 diabetes, PCOS, heart disease, high cholesterol, high blood pressure. When I learned about insulin resistance and how to control and deal with insulin resistance, I found how to lose weight. When I started to study functional medicine principles, I was able to slowly change what I was doing and create a new lifestyle for myself. I was able to reverse my conditions and improve my health and lose the weight. Now that I know that, when I look at those weight loss programs, I see that they're not set up to help you at all. They are not our friend. The weight loss industry preys on our frustrations. They tell us calories in, calories out, which is not true. And they tell you starve yourself, which is also not true. Not the way to do it. They make you believe that the only way is to restrict calories and exercise more. And if you can't do it, it's your fault. Well, I'm here to tell you it's not your fault. The weight loss industry The food industry and the pharmaceutical industry, they're all against you. Now, the weight loss industry wants you to lose some weight and keep coming back. So they want to have a customer for life. The food industry, they found ways to make the food that you're eating be very, very addicting and keeping you coming back for more and more and more. And unfortunately, our government, who is supposed to protect consumers, is not doing that. They are working for the food industry, right? And then pharmaceuticals industry, they are also not helping us lose the weight. The drugs are helpful and they will help you lose some weight, but as soon as you stop taking the medication, you'll gain the weight back and even more. So they're not there to help you. They're not there to help me either. Now, I'm a pharmacist and I am telling you that drugs are probably not the way to go. Now, I'm not saying don't use them. I'm just saying by themselves, they are not the answer. Now, all the information I'm giving you here is for patients who are strictly wanting to lose weight and are not people with diabetes, okay? If you are someone who has diabetes and you want to not only lose the weight, but reverse the condition, send me a DM and we'll talk about what we can offer you. Now, another thing that makes weight loss unnecessarily difficult is your doctor. Now, I've worked in primary care and I've also worked with endocrinology. These are the doctors that take care of patients with diabetes and people who want to lose weight. Now, most doctors lack an understanding of evidence-based nutrition research. Most doctors get about an hour of nutrition during their entire medical education. And they will tell you the same thing. They will tell you, eat less, move more, which again is not the way to go. They'll tell you better nutrition, more exercise is the way to do it, but they don't know exactly what you need to do. As a result, millions of people just like you and just like me, and many patients with diabetes, people with diabetes, try to lose the weight and they're not able to do it. As a result of everything that is coming in, we keep consuming the very foods that are making us fat, overweight, and making us have insulin resistance. And you think you're eating better because you're cutting out fat? Well, fat is not your enemy. Now, I'm talking about good fat, not bad fat. There's a distinction. But again, the weight loss industry and the pharmaceutical industry are making tons of money, but they're not giving you a permanent solution. These are companies that are focused on profit, not on helping you. And I know that personally. So millions of people just like us, we continue to be overweight and go on to even gain more weight. And we have no idea what we need to do. I'm here to tell you what we need to do is focus on reversing insulin resistance. Just like becoming healthy needs to be a lifestyle, and I study lifestyle medicine, weight loss is a lifestyle. Now, most studies show that there isn't one single diet that is effective in keeping the weight loss after the 2-year mark. So even if you lose weight, you'll probably gain it back. And the reason's simple. Diets are temporary. They're not made to sustain you and become part of your lifestyle. Diets are short-term. They're not long-term solutions. They're just a band-aid in a big problem. So rather than talking about a diet, again, we want to talk about lifestyle, about changing, making small changes that will add up to one big change. Not only are we talking about changing habits and changing what you eat, we're talking about a complete lifestyle change. Now, developing a lifestyle is a very hard thing to do. Where do you start? How do you do it? And it's really hard when you start listening to this doctor, that other person on TikTok, one person on YouTube, one person on Facebook, and everybody's giving you a lot of different information. What is it that we need to do? We need, again, address the root cause of the problem. And while this is very frustrating, in the next videos, we'll show you how to make changes that will lead to lifestyle change. So I'm here to tell you, while it sounds overwhelming, it is actually simple. And it is an extremely effective way to lose weight and keep the weight off permanently. We're going to show you exactly why you are in control, and you've always been in control, and you will continue to be in control, but with a better understanding of why you eat sometimes when you're stressed, or why you've created these patterns that are making you eat more. Thank you.